When you are digitizing a form, you have the ability to assign a file attachment field where the generated PDF of the completed form is going to go in your Quickbase app. That way, in the future, you can go back, you can just open up that file attachment and you can see the completed form that was submitted. A while back, I'd say probably 2 or 3 months ago, our developers created an addition to that that allowed you to assign what the file attachment name would be. So how it currently looks, if you go into your form that you want to digitize, you go to options, and you're going to open up table, and you'll see where your file name field. This is the field. I'm sorry. This is the area where you can assign. So this is the field that your digitized PDF is going to live. And then you can come into this file name field and you can pick any one of your fields that you want. And that field, whatever content is in it, would then be applied as the file name. So in playing around with it, I won't say I built away, but I applied a concatenated version. But you can build a formulated concatenation field that you can apply here and then give some logic to that file name, so that way, if you save that file down onto your computer, you then have logic to know what that file is. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, show you some actual examples. So I'm in my app, and I am going to go to the table that my form is digitized to. And I'm simply going to build a formula rich text field. I called it, I gave it some clarity so I would know what this field is for in the future. And this is the logic that I applied. So I'm pulling in the different fields that I want to make up this concatenation. So in this particular case, I want to know the employee's full name. I'm doing an underscore, giving some verbiage. So request is for, I'm going to bring in content from the form, again, underscore, and then date request, space. And then I went in and we've got date request as a field, but I just changed the format so that it'll appear year, month, day. When you're dealing with, file organization, document organization, it's always nice to have dates in that order versus month, day, year. So just applying some logic there. Once you have created this field and you've saved it, then it will appear in your dropdown as an option to choose from. You just select it, click out of your dialog box, save. Now I'm going to show you what it actually looks like when it's generated. So let's go in. And I'll just go ahead and create a sample, populate an actual form. So I'm going to pull up my employee, and here's my form. I've got some pre-fill going on. This is one of the fields that will be populated via that concatenated formula. So I'm going to say credit card, and I'm going to request a new one. Testing, signature. And then this is that date requested. Click submit. And now when I go back into Quickbase, refresh my screen. And it's going to act funny on me for some odd reason. Oh.
It can take a minute for that to process to run.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, if you refresh it, it should be there. Yeah.
Let's back up for a second. Thank you, Scott. There we go. So now you can see my PDF attachment field. It's got my employee name, request for credit card, date requested, and then there's my request date. So some new functionality. It's not hard. It's not a far reach, but it's one of those, I feel like this is something that could be very useful, but it wasn't a big highlighted improvement, if that makes sense. So I wanted to share that with clients just to kind of let you know there's another tool, another resource out there to just help you make better use of Form Engine.
No, that's helpful. So that all runs in the after update, of the new record that is being uploaded?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
we can use a mix of new data and old data if we needed to, and it wouldn't impact that because, okay.
Yeah. Right, cool. So like if you have in your particular case, Chris, the forms that we have where they're being updated, so like company name, for instance, if in a lot of your cases, company name is first, well, that doesn't change, obviously, but maybe the date submitted is what gets updated. So I can go pull yours, or Cindy can show you when, she's back in the office, but you'll see, for instance, I think on some of yours, it's like Acme and then company info and date submitted. Well, date submitted might be the only thing that changed, but then when you go into this field or this record and you want to see all the the historical files in that file attachment field here, then you would be able to see, oh, it's Ashley Solomon. It's the same thing, but then maybe my dates are changing, right? So then you can pull, if you need to pull a previous one, you can do that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
So just a fun, easy to implement feature. It's something that, to my knowledge, right now can't be done in native Quickbase. So I think it's really beneficial that you can do it with Form Engine and give some clarification to your forms. So that was one thing I was going to share. Before I move on, are there any questions? Okay. I will take that as a no. So the next thing that I was going to share is we now have connections to Quickbase. And what I mean by that is, instead, if you are in Form Engine Builder, you're digitizing a form, and maybe you don't have your app open, but you need to access your app. There are now connections and quick links to be able to do that. So for instance, if you are in a field and you're in properties and something about the field isn't lining up, or you need to see what permissions are set up on the field. Well, now there is, up in the top right-hand corner, there is a hyperlink more or less. It says open, employee full name and in Quickbase. So you can click on that. Now I'm logged in, so it automatically takes me. I haven't tried it not being logged into the app, but it will take you directly to that field. You can look at setup, you can look at field types, whatever you need to do, make any adjustments that you need to make, and then go back to building. So that's how you can access field properties. You can also, via options, you can click on your table and you can access table properties via this table ID link right here. You can also access the app now as well. So if you want to just go straight into my asset activities, I can click on that and it takes me right into the table homepage, where then, you can navigate to settings or whatever you need to do. And then if you just want to get into the app as a whole, click on HR Central or your app, and it'll bring you to your app homepage. So just a couple of features that we've implemented. Again, they weren't big spotlight features, but they do add to the functionality of Form Engine and making it even more user-friendly for builders to navigate and move around and get things done quickly.